Good day, welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Fidelia Aguncha. Nigeria President Muhammadu Buhari has held his first official meeting since returning from a 103-day medical leave in London. The president on Tuesday held a meeting with security chiefs in the country where he was briefed on the security situation of the nation. Speaking to State House correspondent, Chief of Defense Staff Abayomi Olunishakin revealed that the Secret Service of the indigenous people of Biafra was among the issues discussed at the meeting, which lasted for about 3 hours. He also listed the Boko Haram crisis, clash between farmers and herdsmen, and kidnapping as some of the areas that were touched at the meeting. The president has now directed all service chiefs to enhance their security operations in tackling insecurity across the nation. The United Nations has raised alarm over the rising rate of children suicide bombers by Boko Haram in Nigeria's northeast region. In a new report, the United Nations says the rate in children suicide bombers has increased by 4 times in 2017. According to the report, 83 children have been used as human bombs this year. Of this number, 55 were girls, most often under the age of 15. 27 were boys, and 1 was a baby strapped to a girl. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has ordered the interim forfeiture of assets valued at $16 million linked to former Minister of Petroleum Alison Desiani Madueke. According to the EFCC, the assets are suspected to be proceeds of corruption. The anti-graft agency is accusing the former petroleum minister of embezzling billions of public funds during her stay in office. Alison Madueke has, however, maintained her innocence amid these allegations by the EFCC. At least 9 persons are feared dead after a truck loaded with sand rammed into a commercial bus in Edo State, southern Nigeria. The accident happened on Tuesday morning and was said to have been as a result of brake failure on the part of the truck. The driver of the truck was said to have escaped as soon as the incident occurred. Following the accident, angry commercial bus drivers and community youth staged a protest calling on the state governor to regulate the activities of truck drivers in the state. The Nigerian Air Force has condemned the increasing rate of hate speeches in the country. The Air Force statement comes a week after acting President Yemi Osinbajo warned that hate speeches would be considered an act of terrorism. The Chief of the Air Staff, Sadiq Abubakar, decried the increasing rate of hate speeches, saying it is detrimental to Nigeria's development.
We are all not unaware of the use of social media by some elements to spread falsehood, in addition to promoting hate speeches, violence, anarchy, and confusion in our society. The message of hate and violence does not augur well for the development of our great nation. I therefore employ all relevant stakeholders to continue to focus on the use of the social media to inform, educate, and entertain as originally intended. In view of the materialization of the social media as an effective and efficient medium of disseminating information and without prejudice to the very important and abiding role of the traditional media, I will enjoin all of you to ensure you realize the advantages offered by the social media for the benefits of the Nigerian Air Force and indeed Nigeria.
In the case of Boko Haram, you will see that they are very social media savvy because they know the power of the social media. Then they go to YouTube, they upload something, they use WhatsApp, spread all sorts of lies. Social media is a double-edged sword. And the earlier we master it as a people and as a government, that's the positive sides of it, the better.
Basically, the way we get to know or hear news about the military, that's I'm talking about Nigerians now, is mostly through the social media, and of course, it's also further validated by the presence of the same stories on the traditional media such as newspapers, radio, and TV. And as we also all know, even the traditional media these days have a way of also using the social media to propagate their news.
A group of Nigerian youth from the southeast region of the country have expressed support for the Buhari-led administration. The youth under the edges of Coalition of Southeast Youth for Biafra held a solidarity rally in Abuja to welcome the president back to the country. The group assured the president of their full support, saying he is on the right track in his developmental strides.
The fact that a coalition of youths from the southeast region has come to mount this solidarity rally for him is very significant, because some mischief makers always say that the southeast region is not with the president. That is not true. It was in the southeast that he was given the name Okechukwu during the campaign. It was in the southeast, in Aba precisely, that Eze Ikone gave him a traditional title. So we know that every part of this country approves the leadership of President Muhammadu Okechukwu Buhari. This gives us confidence that no matter what anybody does, no matter the antics of people who plot mischief, Nigeria will remain one.
Already, progressive impacts we have noticed that have been organized and done and carried out by a change administration are here for all to see. We have seen an impressive stability in foreign exchange. We have seen a serious drop in corruption, thanks to your person. We have seen a rise in our foreign reserves and the moves for the rehabilitation of the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway, of which we gather that payments, approvals have been made. These things worry us. The Enugu-Onitsha Expressway, as well as for the construction of the second Niger Bridge. As a country, it is no longer news that we are leaving recession behind us. Surely things are looking up. Sir, the youth of the Southeast, we pledge totally to stand with you in support and prayers until you achieve your noble vision for our country.
The Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has refuted reports that 5 Nigerians were killed in Ghana. The ministry in a statement said the incident was a retaliation attack by a group of Ghanaians for the murder of one of their citizens. The statement, however, insists no one was killed, though a few were injured and properties were destroyed. The Nigerian accused of the crime is still in protected custody of the police in Ghana. The People's Democratic Party has criticized President Muhammadu Buhari's presidential broadcast, describing it as an anticlimax. The president addressed Nigerians on Monday after returning from 103 days of medical leave in London. In his address, the president spoke on issues ranging from the agitation for Biafra, the anti-insurgency war, and his commitment to his office. However, the opposition party is not satisfied with the president's speech. The party in a statement said, quote, "The president and his handlers missed a golden opportunity to reconnect with the people through addressing issues that have direct bearing on their well-being," end of quote. The Nigeria police has taken a bold step towards redressing the public's perception of the institution as corrupt and inefficient. The force has flagged off its public relations school as a means of reaching out to the people. While addressing members of the force at a lunch, the Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris enjoined the participants to place high premium on the training so as to change the narrative about the Nigerian police force.
I believe with the launching of this program, all of you will now put in the focus the importance of the police to sort of ensure we have a positive image in the eyes of the generality of the public, of the citizens of this country. Because with that good image, the police as an organization cannot sell itself to members of the public, cannot get the trust of the members of the public. And I think it's very, very important to look at this training you are going to receive this morning as an indication of the importance that the police attach to positive conduct and positive behavior. I think the behavior of the past has to change. We have a very great responsibility to the members of this country to defend them, to protect their fundamental rights in various aspects on their daily lives.
The Nigerian policemen all over the world where they have served ever will come with good result and good name and good image. Why not at home? We must find out here. Then every individual is a building block to the image Nigerian police has. Because reputation is gradient, is contributory, and of course, it is the aggregate of every officer's behavior that's equal to the behavior of the Nigerian police. How do we build it? Who do we think we are? Who do we think people think we are? Who people think we are? And who do people think we are? Then what do we supposed to be to the society? And what actually do we want to be for ourselves? You cannot be a successful policeman if you don't have what it takes to have a brand that people can commend. And you cannot be a part of building block of that society we are looking for.
John Oyegun, National Chairman of the All Progressive Congress, has inaugurated a 7-member reconciliation committee for the party's Kogi chapter. The committee is chaired by Idris Garba, while the party's Deputy National Secretary, Victor Giadom, would be its secretary. Oyegun thanked members of the committee for agreeing to serve the party, adding that the party's leadership wanted peace and settlement in its Kogi chapter.
For us as a party, we are bending over backwards to say, yes, we understand your feelings. We understand what you've been through. We understand the work that you have put in to get the APC elected. We understand also that God, who disposes of power, brought somebody at the last minute to be the beneficiary of all the work and the labor that everybody obviously has put in. So we are bending over backwards, and we have assembled this very, very, very top-level team so that those on the ground there will see that we mean everything we say when we say we want peace in Kogi State. Otherwise, we won't be sending people of this caliber and people of this stature.
I want to assure the chairman that we will put in everything possible to succeed in this task given to us. We ask for your continuous prayers and also believe that we will, God willing, be able to resolve the issue as requested by our party.
Corruption not in my country.
What is wrong with you? Man saying no? Tell them I drove for more than 1 hour.
Yeah, me. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ká kúrò fún Ọlọ́run. Ká satisfy yín níbi ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe.
Ẹ wo jẹ́ ká lọ jàre ká kúrò nbí báyìí.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú. Hello ọ̀gá. Màá dọ́dọ̀ yín lẹ́sẹ̀ I am assure you 5 minutes. Màá dọ́dọ̀ yín ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀.
You are deceiving another customer just like you deceived us.
The same way he deceived us.
Eh? Why?
Ètò ni iṣẹ́ yìí. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun, ò lè jẹun. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun ìyá mi. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun. Workshop mi lélẹ́yìí. Ibi tí èèyàn bá ti ń ṣe ló ti ń jẹ. Ìyẹn ló ń pè ní workshop. Ibi tó bá ti ń work ni kó má ti shop.
You cannot base your business on lies. Go down now. It is corruption and it cannot work. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. Nigeria is finally down to what seems like just 2 exchange rates. This is the official central bank rate of 305 per dollar, while the other is between 360 to 365 at the interbank and parallel markets. The move, according to Bloomberg, is to entice back bond investors who fled in 2014 and 2015 as oil prices collapsed and the central bank tightened capital controls. Since the CBN introduced the investors window known as NAFEX in April, banks have been trading but were not allowed to publish their trades. Oil prices steadied on Tuesday, supported by signs that global supply may be tightening gradually and restrained by rising U.S. shale production. Benchmark Brent crude was unchanged at $51.66 a barrel, while US crude was also unchanged on the day at $47.37 a barrel. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and non-OPEC producers, including Russia, have pledged to hold back about 1.8 million barrels per day of output between January this year and March 2018 in order to tighten supplies and proper prices, but oil production elsewhere has been rising, blunting the impact of output cuts by OPEC and its allies. More than a week after the deadly mudslide in the Sierra Leonean capital of Freetown, the country's death toll is still mounting. Officials put the current figure of death at 499, with around 600 others still missing. Rescue workers have now called off their operation, reducing the chances of finding more bodies. But there are fears of a recurrence of the incidents, with the country witnessing a huge rainfall. Earlier today, there was unconfirmed reports of a minor landslide close to the dam in the Regent area of Freetown, where the mudslide happened. The extent of damage is not yet clear. Aid have been pouring in from across the world to help victims of the tragic incident. Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Minister Geoffrey Onyema was in the country yesterday to pledge Nigeria's support for the victims. Countries like China, United Kingdom, Turkey and Liberia, as well as several others, have made donations to support the victims of this tragic incident. Sierra Leonean citizens and charities too have also been sending food aid to the emergency center in Freetown, where the victims are housed for now. Over 4,000 children have been rendered homeless, and some survivors have also been narrating their tales.
But maybe there's a room on Monday morning.
I was inside my room on Monday morning when the rain began by 1 a.m. till 5 a.m. when the rain became very serious to an extent where one cannot leave the house. So the rain kept on falling, but what kept me safe was my sister. She sent someone to call me to pick up a bag of rice she bought for the family. Initially, I told her I could not leave because of the rain, but she called me back and insisted I go get the bag of rice to avoid it being stolen. She said she had sent a driver who will drop off the item at a location where I would have to pick it up. After initially refusing, I decided to obey her. I dressed up, climbed my bike, and went to pick up the property. So when I was about to leave, I saw the hill collapse and I could feel the vibration on the ground. When I realized what was happening, I immediately called for my wife and 3 of my neighbors to run out of their homes. I searched around to find others I could help, but they all had been taken by the mudslide. Almost everybody around me had been killed. I, with the others I found, could do nothing else but run for our lives. The country's parliament has asked people with pictures of dead bodies on their phones to stop spreading the images and delete them immediately. Addressing the crowd at the scene of the mudslide in Regent, Minority Leader of the Sierra Leonean Parliament, Bernadetta Lahai, appealed for calm, promising that the government would take care of the victims.
This thing will not happen, it happened to everybody in Sierra Leone. No village, not in Sierra Leone, where in farm would not be there. No section, not there, no chiefdom, not there, no district, not there in this country, where people that when they come out, they're not being staying there. So nobody not going to say me are not affected. And even if you're not directly affected, but because we're not Sierra Leone, we're a small country, you party in brother, where God can go. You affected in one way or the other. And we are the people's representative in the parliament. Even if we be done the Kenya as individuals, but parliament not be done come.
Meanwhile, the Sierra Leonean government has warned citizens and tourists to desist from swimming in the capital's waters as they may be contaminated for now. Some dead bodies have been discovered at some beaches in the capital. The World Health Organization has also warned of a likely outbreak of cholera and typhoid owing to the contaminated water in the region. Less than a month after Kenya's presidential election, another African country is preparing to elect a new leader. Angolans will on Wednesday go to the polls to replace Jose dos Santos, who has been president for 38 years. Choosing his replacement marks a momentous occasion for a country where most people have known no other president. But with his children in prominent positions in Angola and the incoming president's power weakened, dos Santos is unlikely to be out of the picture. He is the world's second longest-serving president behind Teodoro Obiang Nguema of Equatorial Guinea. 3 female Nigerian wrestlers have arrived in Paris ahead of the World Wrestling Championships. The wrestlers comprise 2015 World Championship bronze medalist Odunayo Adekuroye, Captain Blessing Oborodudu, and Aminat Ajayi. They arrived the French capital in company of coach Purity Ako. The trio will begin their tournament on Wednesday. Barcelona are suing former player Neymar for 8.5 million euros over his world record move to Paris Saint-Germain. The Brazil international made a 222 million euro move to the French club in August after buying out his contract. Barcelona now wants him to return a renewal bonus he was paid when he signed a 5-year deal just 9 months before forcing through the move. As well as the 8.5 million euro bonus, the club wants an additional 10% because of delayed payment. This development comes barely 24 hours after Neymar criticized the directors of the club, saying Barca deserved better. ATP chief Chris Kermode has hailed Rafael Nadal to return to world #1 spot. The Spaniard climbed to the top of the ranking in the latest ATP chart on Monday. It is the first time Nadal will be top since July 6, 2014. Kermode described Nadal's rise back to the top as a testament for his longevity in the game. Well, that's all on News Now. Thanks for watching. I am Fidelia Aguncha.